The National Council on Teacher Quality came up with 5 research-based recommendations on what strategies should be taught in teacher preparation programs. The first one is rules. We need to make sure that we are very explicit about the expectations for the student's behavior. They also need to be taught and applied in a fair and consistent manner. One way that I think is the best about this is that us teachers, we need to model the way we want our students to act. The second one is routines. So if we pair up our students in like partners or in groups, we need to make sure we teach them how to act during each of those activities and routines that they're doing. The third one is praise. This is my favorite. I think that students' positive behavior should be reinforced. It should be specific and sincere. The most important thing is that we should praise the behavior, not the individual. The fourth thing is misbehavior. These are the consequences that our students will get when they misbehave in our classroom. There needs to be different levels of severity, and most importantly, they need to be applied consistently. I remember in elementary school, in one of my classrooms, up on the wall, they had the different colored cards, and if someone would misbehave, they would flip the card over, and it would change to the next color. I think if they got to red, then that was when they got sent to the principal's office. So then the last one is engagement. This is our students need to be interactive and engaging. The more engaged our students are, the less likely they are to act out. I know for a fact if I'm not engaged, then I will not retain any information. All of these 5 research-based recommendations all seem pretty important to me. I would want to have all of these in my future classroom. In addition to these, there are the big 5 recommendations that are strategies that principals and teachers should consider. The first thing is we need to make sure we manage a physical environment. When we set up our desk, we need to make sure we see every single student, and our desks need to be strategically placed. So if we're going to be more discussion-based, we would like maybe a U-shape, so that way all of our students can see each other and they can discuss with each other. If they're with partners, maybe pair them up in 2s in rows. I remember in high school, one of my teachers did the think, pair, share. So we were set up in pairs. So she would ask us a question, we'd think about it, we'd pair with our partner next to us, and then we'd share as a class. And the next one is we need to make sure we motivate our students. We need to get the students to want to learn and follow the rules. The teacher would allow us to pick our own topic for a project in high school, which I thought that was a very, very good idea. It allowed other students to excel in different types of way by showing what materials that they knew for the class. The next one is use the least intrusive means. This is when a student is acting out, we do not need to make a big scene about it and take the student out of the classroom right away. Let's just remind the whole class of the rules and maybe even give that student the teacher look. We need to make sure we redirect our attention back to the lesson. The next one is parent and community involvement. This is our phone calls home, meeting with parents, or even sending the note home. This is where most people get confused because when we contact home, sometimes that's for a good thing. And that's what makes the parents feel better about their students too, not always just hearing the bad stuff. And by getting involved with the community, we'll have our students pick a project that involves the community around them, and that'll get them want to learn, and that'll go back to the whole motivation factor. The last thing is social, emotional, and cultural sensitivity. We need to make sure we understand all of those as a teacher. We need to have an open classroom that allows students to feel comfortable. Because of these 10 tips, I believe that they will help teachers with behavior problems and spend more time teaching. By encouraging these skills, we can fill the gap between preparation and practice and help with behavior problems.